Yeah, well, that was the thing though, is it was like, it was in the rules, but it was also like so vague. It was like, well, how do you want to interpret it? And of course, me as a trader is like, well, I want to interpret it this way, where it's like advantageous to me, while the others were like, well, we want to interpret it this way, where it's advantageous to us. So I ended up just being like, sure, let's do it your way, because I hated being the trader so much that I was like, I just want to like die, like just kill me, I don't care. I was just so done with it. But I hated it because my character was supposed to be like a scientist. Like that was the scenario I was given. It was like, oh, you're this scientist and like you care about the data and you're collecting the data. Like, but it was like, I was the stupidest scientist ever. Like clearly it was written by somebody who didn't know what science was. So it was like really infuriating. Because I was like, this isn't a controlled experiment. This isn't meaningful data. Like, we're not even collecting data. It was just, I was like just killing people with cats, essentially. That was the experiment. Just kill people with cats. And I'm like, well, that's not, we didn't get IRB approval for this. But yeah, I would play again. I think it would be fun. Like, I didn't know the people I was playing with. I think it would be fun if if we played more so we got to know each other better, or if I was playing with people I like already knew. I think that would be like a bit more fun. It was just kind of stressful for me because I'm not like great in social situations with a bunch of new people, and so like that on top of like also I was a traitor. So it felt like everyone hated me. I was like, well, this is like hyping up my anxiety. But yeah, it was all right. I would like recommend it to people, and it wasn't too hard to like we genuinely just watched like a 5-minute YouTube video on like how to play, and that was pretty much all the information we needed. Like we had a couple questions where we had to like consult the rule book, but for the most part it was not as hard to get started as like I thought it was going to be. But
Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole
sounds like
family.
Monopoly.
You can play with your children.
Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me? I feel as if I don't feel as if I have kids. Yes, kids, friends, chicks, I have all those. I don't feel as if I have any kids.
Friends are technically like family.
She fiddles with her pendant, thinking.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations.
Perfect.
It'll cost 12 real.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I don't actually like to play Monopoly because I feel like Monopoly always ends up in fights. Monopoly is like I don't like playing board games in general usually because I feel like people get too competitive and it ends up being like a fight. But Monopoly especially, yeah, it ends relationships, right? Regeltus, do you hate it also because it's just like, I feel like Monopoly is just like one person is always like way on top and then everyone else is just like struggling. Yeah, and if you get knocked out, you just sit there. Like, you just sit there for hours. Honestly, though, usually that's when I am forced to play games like that, I try to sacrifice myself because I just don't want to play so much. And I'd rather just sit and watch at that point. like participating for me is usually, like, more painful. So usually in those, but it's funny because sometimes like being reckless player, because I'll just like make really reckless moves, and sometimes being a reckless player ends up being to my advantage, and like I end up getting stuff, and then I'm like, well, fuck, this backfired. I didn't actually want to be in this game. Your family is extremely good at Monopoly. Oh my gosh, you had to make new rules to ensure you get to play. Yeah, that's the thing, is it's supposed to be a social game, but I feel like everyone always ends up like fighting. I just feel like people inevitably get competitive, even though it's just like a dumb game. It brings out people's like hidden traits when you play games like that. I'm trying to think of like a board game or like a card game that I really enjoy playing. The thing is, like, I do enjoy playing them. It's just, like, I don't like it when people get, like, super competitive, or if I start feeling competitive. And I think that's where I got a little upset this weekend, is because I started feeling like when I was a trader, I got, like, really defensive. I think because I was just, like, I felt like I was teamed up on, like, so I got really defensive, and I don't like feeling that way. So, I think that's why I don't like certain games very much as if it makes me feel really competitive, or if other people start to get really competitive. I don't enjoy it. Like, I'm at an age where I have too much other stress. I don't need to be like stressing about fucking card games and board games. So I'm trying to think of a game that I enjoy playing, and I know there are probably some, but it's not many. Your family are big on card games. Ooh, Wendy's got story time. Let's go. What are Revachol things?
Lousy auras there.
Huh.
No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't like it. Not at all.
What type of things?
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts.
Ah, I see.
That they have rituals
It's
where
like
they try
D&D.
to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
She looks at the table, crossing her arms. I forgot there's like somebody in the building, I believe. The furthest I ever got in this game was like I met somebody who made like dice. She made like very fancy dice. And I remember I got extremely lucky and I like passed a skill check and like got a very fancy dice. So there is some sort of like undercurrent theme in this of like D&D and role-playing games and stuff, which I mean, this game has a lot of similarities in some way in terms of like the skill checks and stuff. How can a bunch of people be good at Monopoly? Well, I think it's like, I think what Wendy's saying is like, if one person is like, if everyone's very good and like one person gets like kind of a head start, then that person will kind of like shut down everyone else, so they like barely get to play. Is I think how it is. So it just becomes like, if everyone's very good, it just kind of becomes like, well, whoever has that like head start, whoever gets to like make that first move. That's what I'm thinking, Hippofont, but I might be wrong. You have a card game from your grandparents called Corner King. New versions of it have been called Billionaire. You have to collect 7 of a kind. To get those cards, you have to trade by saying, I'll go 2, if you're trading 2 cards, and so on and so forth. Your 80-year-old great aunt practically climbing over the dining room table to your great grandfather, screaming, I'll go 2, at the top of her lungs. Stealing cards, snatching them as fast as humanly possible, and getting so the neighbors will think we're being murdered. That sounds like a pretty exciting game, though. I've never heard of that. We used to play, we had a family game in my family that like any time, on my mother's side of the family, every time we got together, we played a game called Shanghai, which I'm sure is a very antiquated name. That's like not the appropriate name for it anymore. It was a fine game. The problem was it's a very, very long card game. It has like 7 or 8 rounds, I think, and each round you're trying to like collect a different set of cards, and it is also like you bid on cards. Like it's a very long game, but it was just a tradition. Every year, every time the family got together, we would play it. Some people loved it, some people hated it. I was like, Mama, I was kind of ambivalent. Like when I was really young, I remember I like really tried, and then I kind of realized I didn't care. You have to sing out 19 as possible. I see. If you have nothing. Okay. You're like 19. Let's look at those world items.
An endless variety of source books, law books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag.
Nice.
Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Who wants to read books? Wow, that's racist. Anything that really catches my eye. We're gonna say the non-racist part.
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplements module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
Okay.
That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega setting supplement, so it makes sense.
Thanks, Logic. Yeah, that's very expensive. I was gonna say that's like a great thing to have on record, Wendy. Ooh, something back here. I don't think she's gonna let us back here.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
I keep forgetting her name is Plaisance. Examine the strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
Thanks, Mimics. I'm being the main character. I'm slightly cleaner version, but thank you, Mimics. Appreciate you. Your hair always looks fantastic. Every time I see Mimics, hair so fantastic. And I'm always like, maybe I should re-dye my hair. Have fun painting. Everyone go see Mimics. Go check out Mimics. There's excellent energy. One of the most wholesome, like, friendliest people you'll meet. Very sassy too. Sassy, wholesome, friendly. What can go wrong? I give it a hydrate too. Charm.
This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges.
Who are the Seminese?
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south.
Hello, woof woof. Hello, woof woof, spooky doggy. I love this game. So I've never finished this game, but I've started it and like had multiple different starts in it. But this time we're finally gonna finish it. I'm determined to finish this game. I am not gonna get distracted by other games. We're gonna finish it. But no, I adore this game. I assume that you maybe are familiar with it too. But yeah, I have never finished it, so I've never gotten like too far into it. So excited to see where it goes, because I love the writing, I love the style, the art, everything.
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
A shopkeeper? What's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She keeps fiddling with that pendant. It's a big pendant too. No, I don't care about books.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more.
The books are all you care about.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains,
Is this a
the
double
more
bluff?
alluring they become.
Plaisance? Pull them open.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the
Dang it.
petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Could never be that easy.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Yeah, these are the droids you're looking for. Yeah. Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're dumb if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the
Parapsychologically
consequences.
speaking.
It's too dangerous.
Parapsychologically speaking. Interesting.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Perfect. This is about the curse. That's why you're afraid? Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I was gonna say, we could just be like, I'm a police officer. I need to look back there, even though we don't have a warrant. It has nothing to do with the case. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. I'm Hobocop. Alright, I think about it for a while. I'm just gonna say, what's the curse?
No, it's
'Cause I
just
kinda
a
forget.
storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
She's almost begging you. Oh yeah, the curse is like every business that's been here has like failed. I think I remember that being the curse. Yeah, ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed.
How do I
there.
know? She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
This voice actress, I like a lot of the voice acting in this game I like. This one, she feels like she's just like very one tone. Like, just like high-pitched, angry British. Yeah, Ghost Doggy. What's the one in Nightmare Before Christmas? Is it Spot? No, it's Pluto? Fido? It's something. Bluto? Zero! Thank you. I was like, it ends in an O. Zero. Thank you. Oh man, I'm ashamed. I'm just ashamed. I haven't watched any Halloween movies yet this October. It's a real shame. Haven't even watched Addams Family. I love Addams Family movies. Tough.
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
I should quit stream now. I know. What if I did just was like, I'm sorry guys, I apologize. I understand I have to stop stream now because I forgot the name of the dog in Nightmare Before Christmas. But just this goes to show you my brain is just mush these days. Halloween episode 6. I was just thinking about that. I was like, I wonder if there's a way, because I was like, man, I've been watching some Conan lately. Detective Conan, the anime. And I was like, I'm sure there's like a Halloween episode or something. But I don't like watching them out of order. Even though a lot of times they're just like episode of the weeks, monster of the week, villain of the week. I still don't like watching things out of order. It's something in me. Yeah, I couldn't get the ghost dog in Nightmare Before Christmas. I gotta go, guys. I'm so sorry. I've let you all down. I've let myself down. You thought you'd be the same, but you're really loving it. What's been your favorite episode? Like, from which sitcom has been your favorite so far, Wendy? Thank you, Pine. I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
I'm gonna open them. I was gonna say, Wendy, I almost said something where I was like, I bet it was Community. Okay, so then what is the second favorite after Community? How about that? How about we do that? But I assume the Community ones, I've like seen like pictures from the Community ones, so I assume they're probably pretty good. Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's another one of those shows where I really haven't watched it much. I watched a couple episodes and I thought it was funny, but I just like have never sat down and watched. I feel like it's one I could definitely like easily binge at some point, but I don't watch a lot of like sitcoms and stuff. I don't watch a lot of like TV in general. Or movies. I'm just not very good at that. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Talking is always good.
Fine.
Go see what she has to say.
Talking
The
isn't
curtains,
always good.
tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if
I could rip
taunting
them
you.
apart this time for real. Alright, I'll ignore them. I'll go talk to Plaisance. I'm not really sure if I want to, but whatever. They tell you you're Amy Santiago? Oh god. I think I know which character that is, and that's pretty great, if that's the case. Oh.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
The clerk extends a greeting after we've already talked to her quite a bit.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Oh, okay. Before we go on, you seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later. This would be the best way to just introduce yourself to people. But I'm not going to do it. That's really I'm really tempted to, but I don't I don't think that's a great idea. So are you the owner of this? Although maybe it is something where she randomly just gives you like 100 real. But I don't think she's well off, so I don't know. So are you the owner of this store?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice, high-pitched, sounds familiar. You've talked to her before through the doorbell. Oh, you... I see. You like Terry Crews. Yeah. Yeah. Terry Crews is pretty great. I like him. He's got a great sense of humor. And he seems like a very, like, nice person, like, in real life. Every time I've, like, seen, like, interviews with him and stuff. I was wondering that too, Regeltas. I was like, I don't know how Funko Pops work. Are they called Funko Pops or are they Funko Pops? I've also never known that. I thought they, like, came with a name because they, like, are characters. Oh, it was just a stormtrooper. Ah, okay. I guess, yeah, they probably don't have names then. So you can name him Terry Crews. Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side. Farewell for now, book peddler. The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her.
Uh-oh.
This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
Are you trying to get me to say that word? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Someone in the warehouse, they move the boxes around. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it because there is, now I'm forgetting the, K10 sushi? No, Kaiten sushi. I was like forgetting the word for it. Kaiten sushi, which is conveyor belt sushi. But I realize I say like conveyor or conveyor. Like I kind of like switch it back and forth is what I realized. The or sound at the end. But yeah. Conveyor. Yeah, I think I lean more towards the sound. But yeah, it was very frustrating.
What in God's name is she talking about?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? It has a robust magnetic energy. Your daughter's the one standing outside the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Oh my god, no, she was definitely slacking out. That's so mean. She was doing really great. So Pine says or, conveyor. Conveyor belt. Conveyor belt. I don't know, because I feel like conveyor is like not super unusual. I don't think I would notice if somebody was like saying conveyor versus conveyor. Like I don't think I would notice that as conveyor. Conveyor. Oh yeah, I mean that's how I really pronounce it in my like real voice. That's how I pronounce it, is conveyor. But when I'm speaking my American accent, conveyor. But this is what I mean when it's like I'm getting asked by people like, how do you say this word in English? Like, how do you pronounce this word in English? And I'll say it once and then they'll say it back to me. And a lot of times it'll be like something kind of like slightly off in the way they say it. So then I'll be like, oh, and I'll try to like correct them. But then usually in the process of correcting them, I'm sort of like, am I saying this word right? I'm sort of like thinking about it and I'm like, I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about this, you know? Yeah. Annette was being a very good girl.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
1, not impressed. I'm not gonna grade a human being. I don't do that. I've heard of Clifford. Clifford the big red dog. Have you done something to Clifford? Somebody, who is the voice of Clifford? Somebody was like the voice of Clifford that was like a famous person. Oh yeah, those Chinese. I mean, is the real question is Clifford a kaiju? Is Clifford considered a kaiju? Yeah, those Chinese crests are the ones that always win those like ugly dog contests, right? I think those are the ones I'm thinking of, where they look like they just. I mean, they must be very nice dogs, but they look like they have a disease. Like they just don't look well. I'm not gonna grade a human being.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer.
Well, then you're gonna get an answer that's not realistic. I'm not gonna be mean. I'm gonna say 10.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart.
Because she was very dedicated.
If
She
you have
was like,
children, I hope they turn out as great as Mayonette.
I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. All right, chat. I'm gonna let you guys weigh in on this. I kind of want to answer a certain way, but I want to see what you guys think. So if you have the integration working, if the integration is working, I forgot to check if the integration was working. Is it working? Yes, I think it's working. So yes, I'm gonna click on it so you can vote on which choice you would like to see. So there is an integration. You'll probably miss it because it's a very short countdown, but yeah, you can vote on like what you would like me to answer. There's also times where if I'm attempting a skill check, I can ask you guys to like temporarily boost a stat for me, which has been helpful because I think that actually helped me pass one of the skill checks before. Yeah, I would have thought conveyor is what I would have thought. Oh, Regardless, you're being very generous today. What has gotten into you? I think you're loopy from all the Halloween costuming you've been doing. But thank you. There you go, Woof Woof. Spooky doggy. Also, all the super glue fumes are getting to you. There's a song called Woof Woof by Dan. I'm forgetting his name. It's a really great song though, and every time I say Woof Woof, it makes me think of that song. Regardless, did you eat candy corn as well? Candy corn covered in super glue. That is like, yeah, when you have to like take it off and you're sitting there like picking at it, there's something both very like satisfying about it, but also incredibly like infuriating and obsessing. Like, good. I'm glad you guys picked this one because this is the one I kind of wanted to answer. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor.
You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening.
Depends. How much do you pay the kid?
Good sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
Pine, how much candy corn have you had today? You looked it up? You were able to find it from me just saying Woof Woof and Dan? I'm like, wait, did I... Dan Deacon. Yes, that's his name. Dan Deacon. Thank you. Yeah, there's a very good music video that goes with it too. If you're into kind of like strange, kind of like goofy stuff, it's an interesting song. It's certain moods. That's a great song. Certain moods you probably don't want to listen to that song, but it's a it's song recommended. It depends on what you're into. I could recommend stuff, but my music tastes are far and wide, so depends on what sort of genres and things you're into. You know that one that I forgot about that video. Yeah, what was that? It might be as strange. It might be as strange as that video. But this one I think was more like intentionally strange. The weird basketball Russian music video or whatever, I don't think they were meaning for that to be strange. I thought they thought that was like cool. No, Woof Woof, I don't actually put on an act. It's a joke. I cannot do accents actually. And so the joke is that I'm secretly Australian, but you don't want to hear my Australian accent. But no, this is my normal this is my normal voice. But there was a stream where I pretended that I had been outed and my Australian accent was my true voice. I wish I was talented at accents and things. Actually, we were just talking about in my lab that we were talking about like impressions people can do because some people we also have an ad coming up, by the way, everyone. So in a minute here we're gonna have like 3 minutes of ads. I'll put up the oh fuck